What's up, everybody? It's Steven Tyler Myers, your Man Cave Review host, and welcome back to my channel and my top 31 Halloween / horror movies and trick-or-treat candy countdown. We are coming down to the wire, guys. We are one day away from the top 10 Halloween / horror movies on my list. Now, a lot of people are going to, some people, you know what? Let me rephrase this. Some people don't like this movie and think this movie was just a cash grab. But I thoroughly enjoy this film, and I find this film one of the few films, probably top 30 films ever, that it has rewatchability to me, even though there's little things in this movie I will talk about. So this will be kind of more a little bit of a spoiler talk. Well, not a little bit. We're going to talk spoilers for this one. You should have seen, so most people should see this one, but if you have not seen this movie, this is your warning. We're going to talk about this one because I just really want to talk about some things. So, number 11 on the list for films is Halloween 2018, which is Halloween 2, the follow-up film to the 1978 film, classic John Carpenter. So basically, Halloween is the direct sequel to the first film, and this follows Michael Myers and Laurie Strode's stories. I think it's how many years later? It's a really long time. Well, 1978 to now is like 40 something years. Guys, I'm terrible at math, but I'm thinking probably should have looked that up before I did this, but either way, whatever. It's a really long time. I mean, she's really old, he's really old. She was like a teenager, and he was younger. So, anyway, so basically, we're going to just jump right into this. These podcasters are doing a story on Laurie Strode and Michael Myers' story, basically. And they go to this insane asylum where Michael Myers is being held. He's getting ready to be transferred to a different facility because he is no longer being held at the one he's at. So these podcasters somehow got a hold of his mask and decide to bring it to him and show it to him. Now, my thing with this is I think they were strictly put into this movie just to give Michael Myers his mask in a very easy way. The plot is basically just the same in a way. Michael Myers is unleashed, unleashed on the hometown from where he's from and Laurie Strode is from. And, he goes hunting after her, but along the way, there's a bunch of carnage. So, after the podcasters leave, they go interview Laurie Strode. Michael Myers is on his way being transported. The bus crashes. He escapes. All of the other, patients escape as well, but are collected. But he is saying enough after he kills 2 civilians, takes their vehicle, and goes back home. And on the way, he makes sure he stops and grabs his mask. Also, there's just some other things in this movie that kind of, they could have just done it a different way. They could have found a different way without, to get him his mask without using the podcasters. So I feel like they were just kind of a plot point. Same with some of the teenagers in the movie. I feel like they were strictly only just put in there for kill scenes. So some of the characters in this movie are weakly written and no point, like the boyfriend and the kind of the love triangle at the dance. I feel like he was just kind of thrown in there to basically throw her phone in the chip dip. He pretty much had no other point there of it, because you don't see him after that. You don't really see him after he throws her phone in the dip after making out with another female that she sees. This is Laurie Strode's granddaughter, by the way. I forgot to say that. So he throws it in the dip, and that's it. Also, the doctor is kind of a pointless character. You could probably take him out of the film and it wouldn't feel like anything's missing. But aside from those pretty big, huge complaints right there, the movie is, in my opinion, it's shot well. It looks gorgeous. the scenery to me is really nice looking, and I think the film's entertaining. It has, it has that Michael Myers, that Halloween feel that you want to feel when you're watching a Michael Myers film. The first one is one of the best horror films ever made, slasher films ever made as well. Hard to top that. They had a lot to live up to this in this film, so I feel like they were going, they were trying to kind of stay to the original, but also trying to dip into the real blockbustery kind of feel that we get used to, where we have these recycled scenes over and over again, like the typical teen scenes that you see in teen horror movies, and dances, and walking down the street talking to each other. If you get past of all of the kind of the corniness and some of the pointlessness of the characters, it's a good movie. It's solid. Well, actually, that kind of contradicts what I say. I wouldn't say it's solid. It's definitely not solid. It's still a fun watch, I would say. There are really good movies, and then there's just popcorn flicks. This is a popcorn flick. That is a popcorn flick. That is a really good movie. There are some movies that are just meant for you to sit down and enjoy. Let your imagination go. Not worry about, this doesn't make sense, that doesn't make sense. After seeing the film a bunch of times, it started to set in some of the things. Well, okay, those things don't make sense, but you know what? I still don't care, because I can sit down and rewatch this movie over and over and over again, and it never gets old. I've watched this movie 4 times already, and I still really love it. So I know it's probably a bit confusing that I have some, complaints about it, but it's still number 11, and still number 11 over all of these other movies, and then beat some other movies that you won't see on this list, that you probably will be surprised that aren't on this list. But we will do a honorable mention video as well for some of the ones that I know you guys are going to wonder why they weren't on here as we move up the top 10. But still, this movie is thoroughly enjoyable, something that I highly, highly recommend you watching. I hope if you haven't seen this, you didn't stick around and I spoiled the entire movie for you. If you did, I apologize in advance. But the film's enjoyable, so at least watch it. Give it a watch. See what you think about it, because, you probably will like it. Especially if you like Michael Myers movies, or pretty much any of the sequels, because a lot of those, something going on upstairs, some of those aren't very good, but this is pretty good, just minus 3 things I have to complain about. But other than that, it's not really a big deal. Anyway, moving on to number 11 on my list for candy. This is a new fun size candy that has been available, I think, maybe the last 3, maybe 4 years, but I'm thinking it's only been around for 3 years. It switches sizes all the time. But I have not done this kind of food on my channel because I just haven't found a lot of this flavor. And I'm a basic B, y'all, okay? And that is, we'll just get into it. We got pumpkin pie Kit Kat. You can't have fall or a holiday season. This whole holiday season, you can't have a holiday season without pumpkin pie. And I have not done any pumpkin pie flavored things. And this is definitely on the list. Even though it is a newer trick-or-treat candy, we are still going to put it on the list. Look at this orange goodness here. Amazing. This is Kit Kat, but it tastes just like pumpkin pie. Just freshly sliced, put on your plate, pumpkin pie. If you are a pumpkin pie fan, you need to find these because you're thoroughly going to enjoy the pumpkin pie Kit Kat. It is literally a slice of pumpkin pie in one tiny little bar. They used to come in the 2 fun size where you can snap 2 of them, but the last 2 years they miniaturized them, which is fine with me because they're more poppable in your mouth and easier to eat. and more dangerous because you think they're smaller, so you're going to eat more. Usually I would just eat one little fun size and be good, but I can kill like 5 of these, which is not okay. So my allergies are acting up. Whew. Anyway, so Halloween 2018, have you seen it? Do you like it? Would you even put it anywhere on your top 31? Would you put it even on your top at all? Or do you think this movie is stupid? Do you think this movie is good? Let me know down in the comments if you like this movie. And also, let me know, do you like pumpkin pie? Do you like pumpkin pie flavored things? Or do you think people who like pumpkin pie flavored things are weirdos? As always, guys, I thoroughly enjoy making these videos. I appreciate you watching these videos always.